It'll take at least 2 years, if not more, for the United Kingdom to exit from the European Union. An historic vote to leave the 28-nation group also cost British Prime Minister David Cameron his job. European officials are in Brussels right now trying to figure ways to navigate these uncharted waters. And frankly, they are shocked by Britain's vote. President Obama has been briefed and is expected to speak with David Cameron sometime today. Meantime, this decision is sending shockwaves through the world's financial markets. CNN's Scott McLean joins us live from Washington. Scott, a lot of people say this was not supposed to happen, and it overturns the traditional notion of what is politically possible.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Bruce. This is certainly not the result that most people expected. Britain will now leave the European Union, but the effects of this decision really are being felt around the world. One of the world's largest economies will soon be an island to itself.
Let June the 23rd go down in our history as our Independence Day.
Great Britain voting by a narrow margin to leave the European Union. Nearly 52% to leave, 48% to stay. One of the instigators of the referendum, UK Independence Party leader Nigel Farage, declared victory.
A victory for ordinary people, a victory for decent people.
But while some were celebrating, others were panicking. In the span of just a few hours, the British pound sunk more than 10% against the dollar, its lowest level in more than 30 years, dragging world markets down with it. Bank of England Governor Mark Carney did his best to calm the situation, saying some market and economic volatility can be expected as this process unfolds, but we are well prepared for this. British Prime Minister David Cameron called the referendum in the first place and fought hard to keep the country in the European Union. He says he will not be the man to lead it outside of the bloc.
The British people have made a choice. That not only needs to be respected, but those on the losing side of the argument, myself included, should help to make it work.
So David Cameron says he will stay on as Prime Minister over the next couple of months to steady the ship, but expects that his successor will be chosen by October. At that point, the UK will start to detangle itself from the EU officially, but that process could take more than 2 years, Bruce, and so in the meantime, the status quo remains in effect.
And Scott, people aren't so sure that that ship can be settled. As a matter of fact, this news is sure to rattle Washington.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Washington has plenty of questions about how this will work, not to mention that investors, they like predictability and stability, and this decision is neither of those. So world markets are certainly reacting to the news. Keep in mind the UK is the world's 5th largest economy, so there are bound to be consequences for this. Oil prices fell 5%. The FTSE 100, which is an index of the largest companies traded on the London Stock Exchange, it also fell 5%. And around the world, we saw even more dramatic numbers. The Nikkei falling nearly 8%, the Hang Seng 3%, and the German DAX nearly 7%. The U.S. markets, of course, open at 9:30, and if they're anything like the rest of the world, we are in for some pretty ugly numbers to start the day.
And a lot of people are trying to figure out what's behind this move. I know that the people in Britain who voted in favor of leaving the EU basically saw the Brussels bureaucracy, which is where the EU is based, is one that is oppressive and enables mass migration into the country. That seemed to be the biggest issue.
Yeah, migration certainly was a big issue, and the UK was trying for months to try to renegotiate itself to stay in the bloc, but sort of to change the rules about how it accepted different people from within the EU. A big complaint was that people were coming inside and really straining the social services, not to mention bringing down the wages for common British citizens. And so that was one of the big issues. Another one, regulations for business and for consumers. The EU regulations, a lot of people felt were really suffocating the British economy. You mentioned immigration, and then also a lot of British people in favor of leaving thinks that the country can just exert itself more and have a greater influence on the world stage if it is not part of the European Union, Bruce.
And if you analyze the vote, it seems that the vote to remain was higher in thriving metropolitan areas like London and equally resounding for leave in small towns, rural areas, and struggling post-industrial cities.
Yeah, I mean, you can sum it up pretty easily. London voted in huge numbers to remain within the bloc. The rest of surrounding England was sort of a mixed bag, but for the most part, they wanted to leave as well. But when you look at the map, you'll notice Scotland at the top voted to remain in a big way. And so now the big question is what will happen with that part of Great Britain. The First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, already saying that she will put on the possibility on the table of another referendum to now leave the UK and rejoin the European Union. So there are a lot of question marks here about what the future of the United Kingdom and of Europe will look like.
You're right, and it's a watch and wait attitude and posture that we've got to adopt because it may be a while before we get some definitive answers. Scott McLean, thank you.